Hi, Daisy Girl Scouts. This is Miss Jessie coming into you all again to help you work on your Daisy Eco Learner Badge. We are going to take a dive into steps 1 and 2. I hope you all are doing well. It is super, super cold where I am. We had some really nice weather this past weekend, and it was like 80 degrees, and now at my home it's like 55. So super cold, but I'm layered up, and I've got some nice base layers on with my sweatshirt, and I am just so thankful to have you all here and to be outside and working with you on your Eco Learner Badge. So we're going to go ahead and take a dive into steps 1 and 2. So step 1 will be focusing on preparation to protect nature when we go outdoors. And then step 2 will include keeping all living wildlife and critters safe when we're outdoors. So we are going to go ahead and just take a look at the definition of nature. And this might be something that you already have an idea of, but what is nature? Think about that and just really take a minute to think about that, because it is kind of a complex topic, and it's a really interesting question. And so nature can be a lot of things. It could be this tree behind me. It can be our grass. It can be this weed. It could be an insect. It could be a flower. So what I like to tell people is, or the best way to understand what nature is anything that isn't made by humans. So that's really just the most basic and easy way for you to apply what nature is. And then I want you all to kind of, as a takeaway when we leave this video today, to draw me some of your favorite things that nature means to you. So whether that is showing me what nature symbolizes to you, or it could be your feelings right now and how you're feeling about what nature provides you. So I'm going to challenge you to do that and post your drawings and your artwork in the comment section of this Facebook post. And then we're going to do a little activity this evening, and I'm going to sit you down. Sorry, you're on my sidewalk, and I'm going to tilt you. Give me just 1 second. So, first, before we go outside, we want to make sure that we prepare ourselves. And one thing that I have for you, or for myself and for you, is a backpack. So anytime we're outside, I like to take a day pack with me, and I usually put snacks and water, sometimes sunscreen, bug spray, just basic items that, if I'm going to be outside for, longer than an hour or so, I would put those items in there. So that's always a good thing to have as you're preparing. And then the other thing that I'm going to show you all, so I've got a piece of string here, and it really is as long as my arms are. You can't see in the video, it's not long enough for you to see, but we're going to tie a square knot. Here we go. That's a traditional Girl Scout knot, a square knot. And so I've looped my circle. This is going to make a circle. And for today, we can't get out on a trail. I'm at my home. I'm improvising. So I've got you on my pathway, which is a sidewalk. And we're going to spread out this piece of yarn into a nice circle. So what I want you all to do at home is do this in your backyard, do it in your driveway. You can do it on a sidewalk. If you have a dirt path in your woods, that will work too. I've put you on my sidewalk, and the purpose of this is for us to focus on step 2, which is taking a look at how we can keep nature safe, and thinking about when we go on an outdoor journey, who we need to protect. And so if you take a look at this here, I've got a little ant hill. And this is a really great example, girls, because this is their home. Okay, so think of this as when you have this circle, we're thinking about the nature aspect of it and the little critters and the wildlife that are living within the circle. So when you are setting this up at home, look very closely at what's in here. You might see ants, you might see little insects, you might see plants and weeds. These are all vital parts of life, and they play a critical role in every aspect of the life cycle. So again, our little ant hill or house, and you can see this little bugger here, this little ant that's going into his home. Do you think that we would want to trample on this little, oh, excuse me, I dropped you. Do you think we would want to trample or walk on this? Think about your home. Think about your space, something that is safe to you and precious. Would you want somebody to trample on that and destroy your house? And that's what we need to be thinking of anytime we're out in nature. And it's such an easy thing to overlook, but these little guys are really just working and trying to do their best to provide for their families, just as our families do for us. So I'm going to zoom you back in, but you can see some of the little ants. See them coming out at the top? So think about that. Anytime you're going out, think about that. And it's such an easy thing to overlook, but you know, the whole principle of being eco-friendly is trying to incorporate our leave no trace principles, which we'll cover in steps 3 and 4. But that's really just leaving our spaces better than the way that we found them. And so when you think of leave no trace and you think of going outdoors and protecting nature, look at this little bug. Sorry, got to zoom in. I want you to think of it as you go out and nobody knows that you went out, right? So you wanna make it as if there's no footprint, there's no trash or candy wrappers or snack wraps that you leave. So you want to almost make it or situate it as if you've been invisible and you weren't even there, if that makes sense. So again, here's our little ants, and we're going to continue to look through our circle. And I can't wait to see what you all post. Please post your little circles. If you're on a trail in your backyard, let's see what little critters we have. We've got some plants, we have some weeds, that's pretty much all that I see right now. Again, this little ant house is pretty active. And that is really steps 1 and 2 of our Eco Learner Badge. So thinking about nature and taking a look at what we can do to protect our natural environment and do our due diligence, which is basically our duty, our Girl Scout way, which is leaving things better than the way that we found them, and beautifying and keeping things safe. So I thank you all for joining me for steps 1 and 2 of Eco Learner. We will gather together for steps 3 and 4 next week, and we will have a little Leave No Trace principle song. So I've got a little tune for you all that we're going to learn, and we will take a deeper dive into steps 3 and 4. Thank you so much, and have a wonderful evening.